Welcome to the blockchain basement. Wow, what a morning we've had. Altcoins going to their death, or is this a buying opportunity of a lifetime? Is Solana cooked? Bitcoin barely sneezes, and we see many projects on Solana absolutely getting their asses kicked right now. But I think there's a little bit more going on than just some short-term FUD with influencers getting caught with that inside information. We also have a huge day for Cash Patel, and Americana itself. And some of the most important people that we need to be put in place are being voted upon today. Cash Patel being one of them, and we are on the edge of getting that Epstein list released. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be an American here in the new revolution. Welcome on to the blockchain basement. Let me see your faces here. Your names, Bad Fox. What up? Unhinged Chat indeed. Manawak. Got to meet up with Manawak soon. Morgan Powell, Jeremiah Dixon, Cali Crypto Dude, Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark asked if he's heard from Piano Matty B. Hasn't done his morning stream the whole week. Whoa. Okay. Last video was a piano bar on Saturday night. I'll hit him up. I'll find out what's going on with him. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out for him to pop in. He's been kind of quiet lately. I'll check on him for sure. That's good looking out. Bubba's Crypto, Jacob Dennis, Quarter Crawler, Min Ninja, Fourth Laserface, Daniel. Don't buy the dip. Don't buy the dip. Crypto Glassworks, everyone out there. This is the time where, you know what? People look at me like I'm crazy right now. They'll say, Drew, how could you possibly say this is a buying opportunity? Isn't everything going to zero? And this is where the fun is had, folks, where everyone's running for the hills, scared to buy anymore. This is where we can leverage up our conviction holds and totally change the financial destiny of our future. Now, we have a lot of stories to cover here today, so I'm going to do my best to cover everything going on in the world. There's peace talks going on. There's honestly a whole shitload of stuff happening in the Senate. So we're going to try to cover just the entire gamut here. There's a lot of fun to be had. Make sure, if you're not already, follow me on Twitter at Druth Crypto. And you can catch me on my 3 p.m.s I'm doing for Mario in the fall. But what would happen if crypto insiders simply received tokens, held them, and believed in them? That's just my thoughts for this morning. Can you imagine what a world? It's easy if you try. I could see it happening. But we've seen a lot of bigger influencers and those KOL people. They just get a bag, they dump it, they cause a lot of calamity. It's not a good thing. So we could change that. We could be that change. Also, make sure to follow us on YouTube here. Make sure you're subscribed. Become a member if you got the cheese for it. I know everyone's out here getting dusted in altcoins, but if you want to take care of the channel, become a member. It's $1.25 a week. We're at 73,000 subscribers as of the time of this recording. Now, here's what Bitcoin's doing. We are heading back down. This is the kind of general bottom end trend line that we have here. And something that kind of made me chuckle is this is what we were looking at yesterday. The liquidation levels, because Binance hates us, and they want to liquidate everyone that is leveraged long right now. So honestly, probably going to wipe out all this. It looks like it's just going to do a clean sweep of all this juicy liquidity to have from longs. And with that, even more pain for altcoins in the short term, for sure. But if I'm looking at this thing kind of backed up, I mean, everyone's freaking out and losing their minds about this graph. It is honestly hilarious. Like, they're losing their mind because we're stumbling all the way up here. Oh, no. What could it be? Man, I mean, tell me you're new without telling me you're new to crypto, right? That's just what when I see people freaking out about this graph and, oh my God, is it over? Yada, yada, yada. It's just, you sound like such a noob. So with that, I know that there's a lot of concerns about that. So before we dive into all the juicy news and all the cool upgrades that are happening, just some good projects here, let's go have a look-see at the Pi Cycle Top Indicator. I think it's worth a look. Today of all days, let's hop in here, folks. Let's see what we're doing here. So here's the Pi Cycle Top Indicator. For anyone that hasn't covered this already, it crosses the green line at the Pico top of Bitcoin. Currently, this is where we're sitting. Plenty of room to run, plenty of room for activities on the Pi Cycle Top Indicator. I'm not worried. Everyone that's basically capitulating right now is going to hate themselves a year from now. So just keep that in mind. This is a time where it's unpopular to buy, and that's where the generational wealth moves happen. Now, the big moves that we see on coin market cap, not necessarily Bitcoin, not even necessarily Ethereum. It is in the Solana ecosystem. Look at this. Jupiter. I hold Jupiter and I am down. I was only buying at 70 cents and I am fucking down on Jupiter. A lot of controversy has come to Jupiter. I'm going to be covering a little bit more, kind of in-depth news highlights about what happened with Meteora and Jupiter's team. There have been some people stepping down over insider information being transferred, and this is not a great look. To lose the 70-cent mark, not a great look at all, just in general for the chart. So what we see here is mostly Solana ecosystem getting its ass kicked in the kind of limelight of all that controversy. Virtual's protocol, Radium. I think Immutable X, I don't know if Immutable X is on Solana or not. Objective, I don't believe he is, but Bonk definitely is. Also, let's check in on Render. One thing came to mind is when Render swapped over to Solana a bit ago. I don't know if it's a $4 Render. Wow. Holy cow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, you got some people sweating in their panties today over this. Oh, shit. At large, like this looks like a pretty strong shelf at the $3 mark. But Solana, I was looking at it yesterday. Some people hit me up, said I was crazy for even looking anywhere below 180. Here we are at 163. Oh, no. Let's go to the year here. So I was basically looking for it to find its power within this kind of zone here. Basically from 130 up to about 180. It's smack dab in the middle of that right now at 163. TJ was highlighting a lot of kind of historical short-term resistances turned into support are sitting here at about $160. So wouldn't be surprised if we find a bounce, even if it is a dead cat bounce at the levels that we're at right now. Let me know in the chat, are you worried about your Solana bags going to zero? I don't think it's going to zero. And honestly, I think that a lot of the influencer stuff that happened on Solana, people are getting a little bit overzealous on going after Solana in and of itself, when it's really just the bad actors within Solana that should be held accountable, right? So we got to keep that in mind. And honestly, like seeing this, like I feel like that kind of 500 to 1,000 range, 1,000 being the hyper bullish blow off top, and then 500 being that kind of just mid-range blow off top. There is definitely more upside to Solana from where it's sitting right now. So not a bad time to actually pack bags along the FUD train here. And more so, I'm a greedy entry point person, so I'm looking for the bottom of this range at about 120 to 140 bucks, but I will keep on moving here. So now, this is what our altcoin bags look like. It's kind of crazy, but we've had even more airplanes freaking crash in here. This is in Toronto. This does feel like our altcoin bags with a hard landing. Thankfully, no one died in this crazy event, but look how hard he came down. Absolutely crazy. I don't think it's normal to come down that hard as an airplane pilot. Let me know if I'm wrong about this. The reports were that the landing gear was busted, kind of gave out as they landed. Thankfully, no one was killed in this. That was absolutely crazy. There was 2 injuries, though. Man, I hate flying, and now I especially hate it after seeing so many crashes. 2-pump crypto chump, sold all my Solana and put it in a Morpho around Christmas. Nice move right there, buddy. 2-pump chump with the giga move right there. Yeah, Morpho has been feeling great. I levered more into Moonwell as well. I highlighted it yesterday. It was at a 3-cent buying point, and Moonwell didn't get the same massive news about being the lending platform chosen by Coinbase like Morpho did. But I do see some opportunity for Moonwell, and really most protocols that have access to this wrapped Bitcoin from Coinbase, I think are going to do very, very, very well. So, with this calamity, with the altcoin crash, I'm taking advantage of it. I'm feeling good buying crypto again for the first time in a long time. And this is basically where the market's at. It's a bearable bull. Just the overall vibe. You have bears walking around with bullish horns one day. They're truly bears on the underside. I don't think we can flip into full-on bears and cut our horns off until we do see this pi cycle top indicator level cross here. I'm really, really emphasizing this. is probably going to be the best indicator for when we've actually reached the Pico top. So don't be a bearable bull. Now, $2.3 trillion asset valuation Google is exploring ways to onboard users to Bitcoin. This is after we covered yesterday. I don't know if it's on this show, but Google and Microsoft are probably crypto's biggest competition. It's not necessarily Solana versus Sui versus yada, yada, yada. It's the private sector versus the giga private sector / public sector, Microsoft, Google, all of the bigs, because when Google does roll this out, they have the users already. They have the mass adoption. At the flip of a switch, they could do it. And this would be very, very good for products that are chosen to be allowed to operate on it. Very, very bad for products that are not chosen to be on it. So, and then that kind of gets me excited for Cardano. I know Cardano's talking about a partnership coming up with Microsoft. And things like small protocols like DAG might get a little bit better of a highlight because they already have the ins there. 32 states now have introduced their digital asset legislation. This is from Marty Party. And this is the American continent. Gold are the Bitcoin laws being put into motion here. Blackout states are nothing's happening yet. And you can see Bitcoin's mass adoption within these states is taking hold very quickly. And this was at the Texas Senate at a debate about the strategic Bitcoin reserve that was held yesterday. Let's have a listen. Very, very exciting talk.
This bill, Senate Bill 21, creates the Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, sending a clear message regarding the decades-long spendthrift stewardship of our country by the federal government. Individuals and investment firms have reacted to excessive spending at the sovereign level by seeking alternatives to fiat currency. These alternatives have historically included gold and land, but now include, to many, cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, referenced as digital gold by the United States Treasury, has become a recognized asset in the financial markets. Besides individuals holding Bitcoin directly or through custodianship on exchanges, multiple publicly listed SEC-regulated Bitcoin ETFs are now traded on U.S. stock exchanges.
So they're giving more credence to Bitcoin. They're saying it's here to stay. Texas is probably going to be one of the first movers for this strategic reserve within their state because they already have a provable track record of kind of that balance of Bitcoin mining organizations helping bolster the electrical grid. Okay, so and Georgia has the same type of thing here. Here in Georgia, CleanSpark, one of the biggest organizations in mining crypto, actually helped upgrade the electrical infrastructure in a pretty big way. There's a monetary incentive to upgrade the electrical infrastructure if you have Bitcoin mining organizations there. They make money from that electricity given, and it's just kind of a win-win for the cities and the companies that are positioned in the right spots here. Now, this is an interesting note. Just on the Bitcoin and ETH inflows for ETFs are drying up, it looks like. So Glassnode confirms there is a slowdown. Is this a temporary dip or a sign of bigger trouble? In my humble opinion, this is a temporary dip. This is just kind of the hangover. We got the Trump pump, the pricing in Trump coming back in office. We got there, and now we're consolidating. We need consolidation levels, stair steps in price action to have a solid market. A lot of people just want it to go straight up and to the right only. That's not the healthiest way for things to go because he who rises fast falls very hard as well. So let me have a drink of this. I love this cup. Kelly gave me this cup, 1776. I lost the lid. I refuse to give up this cup though. Hold on. Now, here we go. Also, side note, I got hit up by a nicotine pouch company. I've been about these on coffee nicotine pouches because you get caffeine and nicotine in the veins. I might be taking on a nicotine partner. Maybe. Okay. I'm thinking about it. Don't hate me for it. And I can't dump your nicotine bags, right? So that's that. Now, this is Johnny Childs. I talked to Johnny yesterday. He's doing great. Johnny Childs highlighting pick your poison. Bitcoin, the founder's gone missing. Ethereum, the founder supports communism. XRP, the team is selling billions every year. Tether with its own fund. It's funny how they didn't list that. BNB founder was in prison. Solana founder isn't even using the chain. Dogecoin founder isn't holding any, and Cardano, the founder, is arguing with bots online. You could just go ahead and pick your poison out of the top 9. It's just kind of funny when you quantify it like that. Like, this is why we can't have nice things, right? Like, this is kind of why. Now we have some really, I've been talking about the White Swan event that a lot of people haven't been paying attention to, right? What happens to the markets and market expectations when they find out, holy shit, Trump actually pulled off a peace deal, right? Like, what happens when they see that a peace deal has been struck between Putin and Trump over what's going to happen in Ukraine? And it's kind of, I mean, they just slide over what Ukraine wants to say, right? Ukraine is clearly a captured city state. They're just like, wait, what? But now the discussion is between Trump and Putin to decide the fate of really Ukraine in this war that has been ongoing here. And we do have some statements of these ongoing negotiations that are happening in Saudi Arabia right now with Trump and the delegates of Russia. I believe actually it might have been Putin there, but let's hear what the U.S. delegation is saying after these meetings commence with Russia.
What the president did not find acceptable was an endless war in Europe that was literally has turned into a meat grinder of people on both sides. So if you just think about just in a few months, President Trump has shifted the entire global conversation from not if the war is going to end, but just how it's going to end. And only President Trump can do that. And in the Oval Office less than a week ago, both President Putin and President Zelensky both said to him, only you, President Trump, could drive this war to a conclusion.
So this has got to have Democrats big mad. Only you, President Trump, could have gotten this conclusion. And honestly, there is a reason why it's in Russia's view, the Democrat Party, along with Joe Biden, were the ones that did a lot of the blackmailery that got the attorney generals they wanted into place in Ukraine to start this process to begin with. And it's been going on before 2014, but Joe Biden's move happened in 2014. His outward blackmail. Everyone saw it. It's on the internet. Go look it up for yourself. But only you can strike this deal. It does, and I've been saying this, Trump has that ego, that character to make a deal happen. Trump also had highlighted that he is very interested in the rare earth minerals that are within Ukraine. So it's not necessarily like Trump's like, just go have Ukraine. It's actually quite the opposite. It's Trump wants the land, but he's going to take the military out of the equation so that Russia can calm down. There is very specific things that Russia wants out of this deal. Let's have a look. This is from Jim Ferguson. Russia dropped a bombshell. Ukraine can join the EU, the European Union, but NATO is off the table. So they can join the European Union, but not NATO. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov made it clear Russia won't interfere with Ukraine's European Union ambitions, but NATO absolutely not. The message to the West is undeniable. Moscow is drawing a hard red line, and ignoring it could have severe consequences. This is talking about if they ignore the fact that Ukraine should not join NATO, if they let Ukraine join NATO, that is where Russia will go scorched earth as best as they can. I don't think that they would win in this conflict, but that is what they are warning of. They do view military buildup on their border, which is Ukraine, as a direct threat to the livelihood of their country. Ukraine's sovereignty isn't the issue. It's the NATO war machine that Russia refuses to tolerate. And what it means, this is just some side points. The EU push is purely economic. NATO is about military control. So we must differentiate these two conversations here. Russia is not backing down on its security demands, and if the West ignores this warning, escalation is inevitable. Question now is, will NATO accept reality, or will they push Europe towards a greater crisis? Germany, Schultz, and a lot of big heads in Europe are basically at a standstill right now. They wonder, it's going to be very obvious to the world if we demand NATO involvement, if we now have this option for peace and we refuse to have any part of taking it, then the people would notice it likely and kind of know what we're up to with this move. And with that, we had Polymarket pop this out. Trump ending the war in Ukraine within the first 90 days. A bet happening on Polymarket right now, standing at a 32% chance currently. This is actually a pretty good bet for me. I don't trade on Polymarket, but I do actually think that he's going to be able to end this war within his first 90 days of office. Now, what we are ramping up on the military side is our oversight and intelligence operations into Mexico. So this just in, the CIA has secretly deployed MQ-9 Reaper drones over Mexico to track drug cartels as part of Trump's plan to treat them like terrorist organizations. So we got our birds, the drones, they're flying, they're collecting all the information. It's happening. Probably a pretty uncomfortable feeling for cartels and really the criminal networks within Mexico at large, because there hasn't been any checks or balances on them at all. They've been just running people and fentanyl into the country for quite some time. Now they have to deal with the CIA and their intelligence drones, first of all, but also the back-end warnings of top-tier military personnel going in by the light of night and doing things that they do best here. So Ohm holding up. I wonder if Ohm is holding up. We're going to take a look at all the alts here. And, in this show, I know there's a lot of worries about where the crypto market's going. So when I get to the alts, give me your lists of alts and stuff like that, anything that you have worries on. We can kind of gut it on DeFi Llama, gut it on all the other metric systems that we use to see if it is truly a dead project. Because you're going to hear it's a dead project about a bunch of different things. But are they really, right? There's probably just short-term fears, short-term FUD for a lot of them that still have strong TVL and strong developments happening on them. It's just people are scared shitless. It's so funny to me. It's so funny. This is insane, though. Look at this. Kobayashi highlighting this. You can't make this up. Social Security may go insolvent by 2034, and Elon Musk just called it the biggest fraud in history. According to new Doge data, 21 million people aged 100 years or older in the Social Security database are listed as alive in the United States. This is absolutely insane. So here's nearly 21 million living Americans, quote unquote, in the Social Security database are listed as over 100 years old. Let's put this in perspective. The population distribution map of people living in the U.S. by age. According to the U.S. Census in 2020, just 80,000 Americans were aged over 85 years old. That is just 0.02% of the U.S. population compared to the 5% reflected in Social Security data. Social Security data shows 1,041 people over the age of 220 living in the United States, with one aged 360 years old. Holy shit. Is that Nancy Pelosi? I think they just found Nancy Pelosi's profile here, folks. As of January 2025, the oldest person in the world is aged 116, living in Brazil. While this data is clearly wrong, it emphasizes the inefficiencies in the Social Security organization. Absolutely insane. Like, how in the hell are they showing that we have 1,000 people between 220 and 229 years of age? Really? Like, you're the world's most advanced government and, one of the biggest superpower on the planet, but we got to sit here and look at this data and be like, yeah, okay. Someone's been eating their greens, right? Someone just decided to take really good care of them. Not 1,000 people, really? Let me know in the chat who the oldest person is that you know of. I knew my great-grandfather, and I believe he was 112, if I'm not mistaken. Him and my great-great-grandmother, very old. Well, I think my great-great-grandmother was like 107, 108. And my grandfather was like 112. Is absolutely crazy. But he smoked a old-school tobacco pipe, ate red meat, and was a very based individual. They were actually vampires, potentially. Every day Trump coin feels more and more like the top of the market. Indie Halo, Trump coin might have marked the top of the Solana market. I don't think it's the top of the DeFi market. I don't think it's the top of the AI market in general, but it might have marked the top of the Solana market. Because Aiden Ross, I hate most of what he says, but he did say this. They were talking about, so much more is to come for Solana. And he's like, well, Trump just rolled out a token. Who is bigger than Trump? Who could top Trump as far as like rolling out their own meme coin? You know what I mean? And it's actually from a normie perspective, that's kind of a good take, you know. So maybe I would like to see Solana kind of work itself out of this whole reliance on meme culture, because there are some cool AI protocols within it that absolutely could kind of take over that narrative. And I do assume that that's generally going to happen. But reason escapes the crypto market at times. We got some good ones here. So we got all of those over 120 years old voted Democrat, probably. My great-grandmother lived to 103. Jacob Dennis knows a 90-year-old. My grandma's 96. My neighbor, 96 years old, holding up well. There are twins who land surveyors. One lived 107, lost contact, don't know about his twin. Man, yeah, you guys, that's some good health right there. Taylor, great aunt, is 105. My wife's grandma, 105. That's imagine seeing a full ass century, right? That's pretty freaking cool to think about. That is freaking cool. Now this, I mean, I can't get over the fact of that scam of the, it doesn't feel like incompetence. This is a money laundering operation that's being shut down right now before our eyes on a government scale. And even deeper into this, Natalie Danielson highlighted this. Want to hear a fun fact? Last year, the IRS collected $4.7 trillion in taxes. Doge just uncovered that $4.7 trillion is untraceable payments. So to put it in perspective, the Treasury has a whole year of tax revenue that just went missing. What in the hell are we paying for? I see a lot of people basically at the point where they're so fed up with how much corruption has been found. A lot of people in the United States feel like we're just in general due a lifetime refund. That's kind of the general vibe here. No nicotine after 100. If I'm over 100 years old and someone's telling me that, unbelievable. You know, I do like natural nicotine products though. And I don't really like smoking because it takes away from the cardio, takes away from the longevity. So, you know, I mean, I think nicotine's actually pretty good for my brain. It's just the other ways, like smoking it, bad for your lungs. You get all the other things. And then they add all these dangerous chemicals into it. Not the greatest thing ever. So, yeah. This is Clint Russell. After these Doge disclosures, I feel like we absolutely shouldn't have to pay taxes until you can show where every penny went. You shouldn't get a penny more. This is his most moderate position. And you got to keep it moderate, right? Because it's still, and it's funny, taxes they list as a voluntary process that they will enforce with literal violence on you if you don't pay them. Think about that. Where the hell kind of thought process does that come from? Sounds like a struggle snuggle to me. Now, Doge has also gained access to IRS systems. This is Graham Allen. I should try to get Graham Allen on the show. I really should. It's about to go down. So we did see Elon Musk was wanting access to the IRS systems earlier in the week or over the weekend. It looks like they have indeed gotten that access into the IRS. Very interesting to find what kind of mishaps or whoopsie daisies might have happened there, right? Because I'll bet you they're going to find a few. And that's saying it lightly. Now, what do we have here? Oh my God, Rachel Maddow. Okay. She's big mad. This dude is big mad. Scott Adams, watch with sound off to see mental illness. We're going to watch with sound on. Let's listen to this.
The government does all sorts of things for which we need experience, expertise, accumulated and institutional knowledge, a stable training base, and a stable work environment in which professionals can oversee sensitive, complex, and life or death matters of 1,000 different kinds. What we have now instead is this wreckage. If you voted for Donald Trump, this is what you were voting for.
Oh my God. It's just erection. You know what I mean? I am quite pleased to see Rachel Maddow. This it looks like a dude. I don't even know. I'm happy to see her upset. I want to say her because I'm just assuming gender here. But yeah, she's big mad. And a lot of pundits on mainstream media, they're super pissed right now. Her blinking scares me. Trump derangement syndrome, absolutely indeed. Now, with this amount of winning and even some treachery, some trading, now we have New York mayor basically leaning into being based. He used to be a Republican, by the way, Mayor Adams. It looks like there's a little bit of a tug of war going on in New York because he's down with letting Tom Homan come in and deport all their insane illegals that have been causing crime to go nuts. New York Governor Hochul calls a meeting on Mayor Eric Adams, floats the removal possibility. Governor Kathy Hochul is weighing an unprecedented step of removing New York City Mayor Eric Adams from office, citing concerns over turmoil within his administration. In a statement, she slammed political infighting, warning that, wait a minute. So she slams political infighting while calling for his resignation because he's okay with working with the federal government on their mass deportations. Got it. Warning that resignations of top city officials can raise serious questions about City Hall's long-term stability. She emphasized the overturning of a Democratic election is a serious step, but said the situation in City Hall is troubling and cannot be ignored. She has summoned key leaders for an emergency meeting to ensure that New Yorkers aren't caught in the fallout. Very, very interesting, and what a lovely looking lady she is. I mean, just cream of the crop. And here's Adams. Anytime, if you're in a grocery store and you see this look, you must run. Okay, if you see this look, she's probably packing heat. She's probably got a lot of hate for males in general, especially if you're a Republican male. And if she's a cop, hope you got your bulletproof vest on, because that is the look of death right there. Now, Kash Patel is in the process of getting his votes. Today is the procedural vote that will allow Thune to file cloture. All this means is Cash has the votes. As promised, he'll post updates through the week. It does look like Cash is coming in, and this is what he's got to say about his intentions here.
Hey, guys, I'm here with Cash, getting ready to kick off this whole nomination process. You excited about it?
I'm very excited, sir.
One thing that we have to do is we got to reform the FBI. Not that necessarily the agents in the field, man, they do a phenomenal job. But what's going on in the 7th floor, the Hoover building? They've weaponized the FBI. And the guy to clean that up and get the FBI back focused on doing their job, and that's to keep Americans safe and look at for American interests, that's Cash. Cash, you got anything you want to say?
Senator, I'm humbled and honored by your support, and I look forward to the advice and consent process to earn the trust and confidence of your colleagues and restore truth and transparency to the FBI.
It's almost like you had to rehearse. That is like perfect. Good to see you all.
I'm excited for Cash, man. I mean, he's the most exciting thing about Kash Patel is it seems like we're going to get the Epstein list released. What up, Brianna? Do you want to go hang out with the Munchkins? Can you go hang out? Is he doing good? Okay, he's doing good? Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, Brianna. Nice to see you here. If you can, yes. Yes. Give me a shout if you need anything, okay? Yeah. Now, what we have, and as I said, I want to get the Epstein list. I want to get what has been done in the dark to come to light. We do see some things going on from people that are probably on that list. They're trying to get ahead of it, trying to do their smear campaign before it comes out. And this man, Tom Hanks, actor, Hollywood actor, appears in SNL as a racist Trump supporter while wearing a MAGA hat, hesitating to shake a black man's hand. They're playing the same card. Very tiresome. Here's Tom Hanks in his charade.
Hey, now speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No,
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome at Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it What Jeopardy?
No. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Jesus. So not only is it cringe, it seems very forced. And I am of the opinion that Tom Hanks is probably one of the more nefarious pieces of the Epstein list. Won't get into it too much for everyone that's watched, was it Castaway, and the bloody hand that's a face symbol on the ball. There's something very dark and nefarious behind that symbolism, in my opinion, and I think that he's probably trying to get ahead of Kash Patel actually releasing the information. And we have seen some people in the background that have stopped this, because by and large, we've known about Epstein's Island and the list and all the things that's happened for quite some time. But why the hell have we not had the list? Well, here's a video of Democrat Senator Dick Durbin blocking the release of the Epstein client list. He lied. He announced that he won't vote for Kash Patel, who vowed to release the Epstein client list. Now Dems delay a vote, confirm Kash. And this is just back in December of 2023.
Made some statements about the Jeffrey Epstein flight logs. I had not spoken to you one time about this issue.
Since we're in the business of issuing subpoenas now, here are a few more that I've filed. A subpoena to Jeffrey Epstein's estate to provide the flight logs for his private plane, given the numerous allegations of human trafficking and sexual abuse surrounding Mr. Epstein.
I understand you made some statements about the Jeffrey Epstein flight logs.
So he's speaking out of two mouths, because he's saying, I've never had this request come over before. He clearly has had the request come over before. He said no. He's going to say no to Kash getting into place. Kash is going to get in anyways. And then all hell is going to break loose for people and their ideas of previous idols and the truth about them coming out. And I am here for it. Nothing that I like more than exposing shitbags that people idolize so they can better understand how scary and dangerous the world really can be if good men stand by and do nothing. Evil doesn't need good men to participate to thrive. It simply needs good men to stand by and do nothing, in which it shall thrive. So this is important as people that want to have a just future, a transparent financial system, but not only that, but a good place for our kids to grow up in. Things are going to get ugly, and we're going to have to break a couple eggs to make an omelet. That's just the nature of the beast, and I am here for it. And a quick reminder that Merrick Garland is probably going to get some shit once Kash is put into place as well. The FBI was authorized to use deadly force during the Mar-a-Lago raid, where President Trump and his family were living at the time. Merrick Garland must face justice if America is to heal. So a lot of things to consider here. A lot of things coming down the pipeline. And also Peter Storzik knows that Kash Patel is about to wipe that smirk off of his damn face. And everyone that remembers the hearing where this pompous fucking prick stared at us in the eye and just wiggled because he knew that he was in control at the time, our retribution is coming. Now, there's a lot of stuff happening in altcoins. All right, so we're going to talk about, first of all, Abstract Chain had a problem immediately. It sucks to see. We were excited about Abstract Chain. I might still find ways to be excited about it, but they had a rough go here. This is Saigar. Full report coming in a bit, but here's the too long didn't read on the situation. The issue related to the Cardex space. If you've ever interacted with the app, revoke your sessions here. This is a super important thing to do. This is not an issue with AGW's contracts. There is no exploit on the wallet functionality. This is a specific issue related to the negligence of the app regarding session key management. If you have never interacted with Cardex, your funds are safe. This is isolated specifically to the sessions created on that app. Our contracts have been audited multiple times. We had our session key module looked at specifically, and these reports will be available shortly. So just be careful. If you got in on Cardex or was messing around on Abstract Chain, you were dealing with this, please pay attention. Keep your funds safe. Now, also, Exchange Ethereum hit a nine-year low, falling to 18.9 million Ethereum. The whales are continuing to accumulate ETH, even as it sits here and rises at $2,600. Let's see where the price is as of right now. May as well check it on the Bitcoin. Ooh, boy. Ooh, yeah. We're falling 94.1. Let's see if we wiped out those liquidations here. Let's do a little refresh. Did a clean sweep happen? Ooh. Okay, so now I'm being tempted. Now it's tempting me to put in a long. Okay. Let's see here. Money flow is honestly, it looks like it's trying to come to the downside on the weekly. The overall trend line, I might have to be patient until we slam into this. Let's go to a more close-up view of this bad boy. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a pile of red and green dots right there. We have a little bit of more downward action and a little bit of room to follow on the Bitcoin momentum wave here. So I guess I'll just watch out for this one. If we go to this deep pullback of about 82, 83 on the momentum wave side, that's where it might be a little bit more exciting to do so. And if you are trading out there, use our link down in the description on BTCC. But you know what, Matt, you won't long it. I think I will. If I see this momentum wave come back down into this 82, 83 range, that's where I'd feel like long, because I don't think that the market's done by any means. I think this is just a short-term washout, a little bit of worries. It might be market manipulation, pushing the market down for the FTX distributions that's happening today. But I'm a conspiracy theorist, so that's just me. Now, let's move on to the next one here. Oh God, this is Ethereum cometh. We got to watch this. This is fun.
You think Solana will replace me? I built this industry. I am the finality. And now, Gavin, you little polka dot bitch, you will pay. Beg. Louder.
Oh man. There is something to be said. A lot of people have been fading Ethereum very, very hard. But look at the biggest winners today. Let's go take a look. Mantle, Maker, a Litecoin off the top ropes. That's funny. Mantra doing pretty good too as well. That's very interesting. Mantra at $7.44. Still Dexy, but I am seeing a little bit of love for Ethereum staking protocols. And even Pith. What the hell? Pith didn't even fall. Still holding here at 20 cents. But, seeing Maker and Mantle being the top gainers, we see a little bit of kind of consolidation, and everyone, has been ignoring DeFi for quite some time. They're out there chasing these memes and trying to turn $5 into $1 million overnight. DeFi and the way of earning yield over the long term is something that large bags like doing quite often. And you will see this DeFi summer really start to get violent to the upside when we breach around $140,000, $150,000 on Bitcoin. Then they're going to want to go in and protect their value and then continue earning on it. I wonder what's going up in the portfolio here. Plume. All right. Plume's doing good. I'm up on my position for Plume. Moonwell at 3 cents flat. Morpho still very sticky to $2. Kind of funny. And then Swiftcoin. This one's just chaos. This is pure chaos. Now, below that, everything else is down for the most part. Ooh, Avalanche, 7% down. Constellation, 7%. This is a sale. These are like my conviction pile here. Honestly, I'm fine. This is the one that I'm like questioning. Should I still hold the Jupiter play? I feel like I have to have some exposure to Solana still, but Jesus, like with what we've seen, it gets hard. So and also a good signal for a right time to buy is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. I do believe we're sitting here at 30%, 38% Fear and Greed Index, not percent, but just a rating rather. Yeah, look at that. Fear and Greed, 38. Bitcoin dominance, let's have a look at it real quick. Printing a green for the weekly so far, but we are just a few days into this. But Bitcoin dominance trying to make a tick back on up, giving us deals on good altcoin projects, not idiotic meme coins. Now we see this. Tether is making agriculture great again. Shout out to Paulo. Looks like Tether is planning to acquire a 51% stake, a huge stake, in South American energy firm Adeca Corago in a deal worth $1.24 billion. A lot of people saying that Tether's going to go out, go under. You don't understand how much money Tether makes. You don't understand how many treasury bills Tether holds. And you're kind of trying to fade the biggest and newest form of money on the planet here. Does this guy ever read the comments? Yes, graphed with hype. What did I miss? Let me know what I missed. Graph with hype. I wonder what I missed. Meme rugs on Sol, just like there were rugs on BNB and ETH in cycles past. Very true. Rugs happen where users and liquidity are. That is a very true statement. Very, very true. Now, we got this. Jeremy, he's in a fight right now online. Let me know what you guys think. Is Jeremy in the right? And this might be a rare win for Jeremy. This guy's asking, of course Jeremy's on Reddit because he's a psychopath. Can I sue my beekeeper neighbor? Every day I see my neighbor's bees flying around my garden, stealing the pollen or nectar from my flowers. Then the bees go back to my neighbors and creates honey. My neighbor then harvests the honey and sells it at the farmer's market for a profit. I've never received so much as a jar of honey or compensation, and every day my neighbor's bees trespass and steal my flowers. I was stung once when I was a child, so I know how dangerous bees can be. The way I see it, this is equivalent to a person's dog coming to my yard to steal balls or tools and then gives it back to his owner, who then sells it for a profit. Oh my God. Do I have legal ground to sue? What type of things should I begin documenting in order to prepare for a legal battle? What would be a fair state settlement amount if my neighbor doesn't want to take this to court? Thanks. Now, here's Jeremy's comments on it, but we're acting like it's entirely one-sided here. The bees help with the flowers cross-pollinating, and for all we know, the garden is 1/10 of the size or vibrancy without the bees. Very good take, and I completely agreed with it. Is this a rare win for Jeremy? Like, let me know. I want to give him credit if credit's due here. That's what I'm feeling. Now, when it comes to bees, they're pretty important for life on Earth, and especially flowers. Now, I do plan on getting a bee hive here in the near future, so that's kind of why it made me chuckle a little extra hard. Just a random little side. I need to know, is Jeremy finally in the win here? I need to give him a win. He needs a win, man. Jeremy is definitely a liberal. There is no denying this. Oh, man, charge him a tariff fee? That's a good idea. Bee tariffs, man. Just super funny. Now, Wyoming is reportedly exploring Avalanche and others as potential blockchains for anticipated stablecoin launches, according to the state's blockchain commission director. Very interesting. Why is Cardano not involved with this conversation? Who knows? I think Charles, he lives in Colorado and has a big ranch in Wyoming. I do wonder why the hell Cardano's kind of not at the top end of that list. But we have seen the DMV in California already start to integrate with Avalanche. So that kind of makes sense there. Jeremy needs a real girlfriend. I think he has a reil girlfriend. I met her. It's a real girlfriend. He truly does. Tax his pollinated garden, agree. I'm right. The tariffs could go both ways, right? Because the bees are pollinating the garden. They're helping it thrive, right? Man, neighbor battles. So try to treat your neighbor well. That's a sticky situation, though. Bitcoin is 93.7. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. We falling. We falling right now. Let's see what this momentum wave is. So we're not quite there on the momentum wave. Still plenty of pain to have on that side. Let's see here. Ooh, yeah. I'll delete this. What happened there? It's like frozen on me or something. Okay, there we go. Let's reload. 93.7 though, spiked down to. I wonder what it looks like on the liquidation levels as well. Got it. What the hell is this? I got the script going here. All right. So, yeah, I mean, we're still pretty far from this general trend line. And I am of the opinion we got to bounce off this still to kind of get that upward velocity. Like, we need extreme volatility. Most people that are short-term gain hopefuls to give up before we see that nasty bounce to the upside. And likely within this range, this is going to be like the peace talks deals. This is going to be the actual conversations of a Bitcoin reserve coming to the Senate, and some things of that become more tangible. And then I'm of the opinion we'll be able to bounce pretty hard off that. Maybe we have to hit our head against this upper range line one more time. But in general, I think we're just about a month or two away from those Senate conversations about the Bitcoin Reserve Act. We're just a few months away from seeing a tangible peace deal struck, which I think is going to absolutely send the markets, not to mention all those loans that the banks were giving out to stop the banking infrastructure from collapsing in 2023 are due March 10th. So there's going to be a money printer on in the background while all this is going on. Now, Solana. Solana is done, but AVAX is thriving. Not sure where to begin. Here's some tools to start diving in. I thought this is just a nice beginner app, kind of overlay of the best app. I really like this core app. It's very, very smooth, works very quickly. It's a self-custody wallet, create using a Gmail Apple ID, yada, yada, yada. It works just as good as Phantom, in my opinion. Also, dBridge. I'm a fan of dBridge. I should probably give them a follow. I got to check in on how much of an airdrop I can get from this. Another one I was talking to Taco about last night is apparently I am going to be given a Trump token airdrop for holding the Trump NFTs. So I got to go in there and figure out how to get the damn airdrop for the Trump tokens because I got the NFTs. Then we got the DEX, the decentralized exchange LFG. Let's go in here and check it out. On-chain trading platform built for winners and focused on Avalanche and Base. So kind of cool. Pop in here and just check it out real quick. Just real quick. Because we got to get the tools figured out. Isn't this, it looks like Trader Joe or something. What is this symbol here? I recognize that symbol. But in general, I'm going to start snooping around these ecosystem pieces of Avalanche more and more. I feel like the degens kind of get exhausted with Solana, but there's just a migratory pattern, same as bees. They move to the next chain, then they go play in that chain. Things break, things go wrong, and then they just move on. Now, this is kind of cool to see. Speaking of things moving on here, looks like a lot of action moved over to Sonic. Sonic had a great price action. Let's see what Sonic's price is right now, because this is previously known as Phantom. It's very cool tech. It's very fast. Let's see here. So we're down 1.7% on the day. Let's look at this at a more backed up. Oh, yeah. You betcha. Okay. I like this because, what I see here on the story, they're integrating SCBTC by Rings Protocol, yield-bearing collateralized Bitcoin asset backed by LBTC, Lombard Finance, and EBTC, EtherFi. So they're integrating with some pretty cool wrapped Bitcoin products, creating their own little internal ecosystem for it. And it's the same kind of concept, but not as exciting as the Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin when I see this. But I think this is going to help liquidity in a pretty good way and entice users into it. And it's clear it's working. We had Sonic crossing $1 billion in decentralized exchange volumes, $200,000 market caps with $200,000 in liquidity, ranked number 16 by TVL across all chains. $200 million S airdrop is also incoming. So that's something we got to keep an eye out on. But it's attracting users into it, and the top beneficiary of this Solana debacle has been Sonic by metrics. Most money flowing to Sonic relative to TVL. It's funny, it's just S token. S token undervalued AF. And this is just kind of a visual of where things had flown from and to Solana with the debacle. And then you see that Sonic actually is a big, big winner in that migratory pattern. Now, AI agents also are coming to Morpho, it looks like, with Giza, not Gaza. Excited to announce our integration with Morpho Labs. Arma will now autonomously manage capital across Morpho vaults, Gauntlet USDC Prime, Moonwell Flagship USDC, and Seamless USDC. Now, Seamless is a throwback. And I've seen Seamless be brought up a few times by the base ecosystem bull posters. Where is Seamless's price? Let's go. Let's see. And it doesn't seem like they're giving up on it, but God, the price is just so beat down lately. Let's see where we're at here. Whew. Yeah, this thing is down 93%. But yet they're being integrated with all these products. I feel very strong about Morpho. Pretty damn good about Moonwell. I like AI agents being integrated into these systems because they need them. It's kind of a match made in heaven. Seamless might be the chaotic pick right now. Seamless might be, I might need to get like $50 of it just in case this thing comes back, because this is dirt cheap from where it released at. It's $11 when it released. Very, very interesting. Now, Meteora, with all of its fallout, here is some more information. So these are some text messages between the Meteora team. So Kelsier and DeFi Tuna, Hayden Davis, the famous Hayden Davis now, yes, need to sell off the 1% supply we have, so I just need to convert it, right? Says Vlad. Gideon, yes. And then he asks, and not use Meteora? Gideon responds, USDC. What does that mean? Convert it to USDC. But this is where things get weird. So, also, I don't know your long-term goals. Do you want to continue pump or you want to distribute all mates ASAP? And here's Hayden. Yeah, fellas, to be honest, we are trying a max extract on this one. These founders, I don't know if they are bad guys or good guys. Normally, we just very keyed into the launch, but this guy is weird. So he's saying, normally I just care about the launch, but I have a hunch and kind of a focus on this guy being weird. So I want to max extract it. Seems pretty picky and choosy of winners here. So the goal is just to slowly utilize all mates at maximum possible price, he's asking. If you have any time frame for that, it'll help adjust my market maker. If not, I can just find the best possible utilization rate for the current conditions of my own. More and more, though, this Hayden Davis looks like a complete shitbag. Meteora, it's not looking great for it. Ben Chow resigned. He was with Meteora. He resigned today, according to statement from Weir Meow. Meteora's co-founder citing a lack of judgment. I don't think we've heard the end of this. CoffeeZilla has really been digging into this whole situation. Absolutely crazy. And it makes me feel really kind of gross about holding the Jupiter tokens. Elon Musk is also going after Tom Hanks. Kind of crazy. Reposting Jeanette Garcia. Hey, pedo, Tom Hanks, not all MAGA hat-wearing patriots are white. In fact, most racism comes from elite Democrats, you asshole. So it's nice to see Americana waking up. It is not specific to any race or creed. These are American maxis that want their country back, and there is nothing wrong with that. Now, this is kind of crazy to see. As apparently Uber for guns, guys with guns on Uber. Over the last few months, he's been advising Book Protectors, a new app for ordering an on-demand security detail, or more simply, a Uber with guns. Today, they're debuting in Los Angeles and New York City at number 3 on the App Store. If you have a hot date this weekend, pick her up in a protector. What the hell? That's kind of a weird. So why would you highlight the? See, this is where simps and Democrat, you're going to lose. If you're a limp-wristed man that has to have security detail, be your gal's security. Be that security, right? There's nothing wrong with being your own security, okay? We have the right to self-defense here in the United States. Please, for the love of God, use it, right? It allows you to not walk around worried. I know California, the laws are garbage, and honestly, it doesn't even feel like America because you can't have a weapon on you at all times. What up, Coors Lightyear? I've learned so much from everyone here. I was able to start my own business with the help of crypto. That is fucking cool. Shout out to you. Coors Lightyear, big shout out to you, man. Shit, that's cool. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Now, veteran crypto sounds like a liability nightmare. Imagine the insurance, right? Imagine the insurance. Be that security. You got it, Cali Crypto, dude. These markets, though, man, they are washing people out. It's kind of funny for me to see Bitcoin. It's causing that short-term pain. We are back into the $93,000 range. I am a huge believer that, essentially, I feel like we're going to hold this level. If we don't hold this level, there is indeed a volume gap. That'd be, likely a quick ride down to $77,000. Should it happen, I'm simply going to buy more. And if it does, if we fall down into this range, this is where I kind of consolidate to buying my biggest conviction plays, such as Chainlink, adding to the Chainlink bag, adding to the Ondo bag. I was going over, because the wife's portfolio hasn't really performed the way she's wanted. And I kind of was like, well, maybe my portfolio is not doing good. And honestly, if you keep the average buys very, very low, even with Chainlink falling down to $17 or whatever it is right now, I literally don't care, because the vast majority of the buys, actually, all of them happened at $1.90 or $5, right? So the average buy is about $3.90. And if I see Chainlink, let's look at Chainlink, because Chainlink is the one I have the absolute most conviction in terms of what an altcoin is. And, in Just Buy Bitcoin from Champ, in general, for new people, I agree with that. That's not where I'm at. I'm outperforming Bitcoin even with the pain in the altcoin sector, believe it or not. And the plan is to then because seasonally I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm not in that season of being a Bitcoin maxi. So I'm just going to gain Satoshis, put it back into Bitcoin, and then ride it in. So Drew, bigger gains this run, well or injective? Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question, Mr. Morgan Powell. I'd say Moonwell has a higher risk factor than injective, but I also would say that the upside potential of Moonwell is bigger than injective. We are at just under 3 cents right now. Moonwell's market cap is at $96 million. And I think a lot of this exhaustion from the Solana ecosystem is going to bleed into the base ecosystem. A lot of people are realizing that they want to stick and go back to the roots of Ethereum and the smart contract system within it, are going to end up in base by default. So there's much higher risk with the buys that I'm doing on Moonwell compared to Injective, but I do feel like there's better upside potential for Moonwell compared to Injective, simply because I feel like it is base season. Now, really, Injective is kind of plugged into that AI narrative, and we haven't seen the NVIDIA conference. We haven't seen even NVIDIA break out of this range that it's been stuck in for a little bit of time. I think NVIDIA's revenue is going to once again shock people. But at large, like I'm not really snooping around for like the next big thing in the AI sector at this point. I'm just locking in to real world assets, to DeFi plays, and utility tokens. I want something that has a tangible use case. And why I can stick to Chainlink in that regard as far as it being an altcoin is because it's the only one that has a tangible and actual partnership with Swift. I'm a utility maxi, and they are going to go live with the CCIP protocol in Q4 2025. So if they accomplish 1% of Swift transactions on Chainlink, that brings it to near $400 a unit just in and of itself, not to mention the speculation that'll happen. And we do have to sit here and wait for the Paul Atkins SEC appointment to really see RWA start to cook, which is coming. But it's just up to people to be patient and believe in something, I guess, to actually get there. So with that being said, I hope everyone's locked in, enjoying the chaos on the charts today, because, man, these days are where legends are made. I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm, honestly, it's been pretty fun with my kiddos this week. So I hope you all out there are taking excellent care of your family, your friends. Be good to your neighbor. Take care of everyone, and just lead by example. Be the change that you want to see in this world, because it is up to us to make a better world. Without it, there really isn't much. So if you want to support the channel, you can also do this. Get a crypto cold storage wallet. We sell Arculus cold storage wallets, a great card. Basically, you tap it to your phone, use 3-factor authentication, and you can swap and send your crypto very, very easily. And it's something that's really easy to onboard people into crypto with. The biggest selling point for me in crypto is that I can become my own bank, and it's an easy way to get people in the know on how to do that. So I love and appreciate all of you out there, and let me know down in the comments after the show what your favorite protocol is. If you have something that I haven't been paying attention to closely enough, then give it a shout. Let me know what to look out for. I do care about you guys, and I want to help you along this path here. So until next time, I bid you adieu. Goodbye.